I'm here with Willie Nelson, fresh off of his win over Tony Harrison on PBC like a month or two ago now. That's crazy. How was that fight, and how are things since winning that fight?
The fight was a great fight. Since winning that fight, I'm just on hold. I'm just waiting to hear from my manager and my promoters on what's the next move.
Very heated fight leading up to it. How did it feel with Tony Harrison talking all that trash? And it felt like he was underestimating your power, which is something in the gym I see you have a lot of. How sweet was that victory?
The victory is very sweet, and I think everybody underestimates my power. That's one thing a lot of people do, underestimate my power. They know me for being aggressive, coming straight forward. They really don't know me for being a puncher or being physically strong, but I think they're going to figure it out pretty soon. I don't know.
And also, this is now your second camp with Brian Schwartz, Mike Basil. How do you feel this is moving your career forward at this point? Like, how much do you feel like you're progressing?
Well, the last camp was a great camp. This right here gonna be an even better camp. Right now, I'm just back home, back here in California, just working. I don't have a date coming up. I don't have anything coming up. I'm just in the gym working, waiting on the call, so we can start training camp and I get to working.
Are there any fighters that you're kind of eyeing up right now? Because in the 154 division, you have to be a top 5 guy right now.
Everybody know I don't do the name calling. There's guys I'm looking at, but I'm leaving it up to my promoter and my managers to make the fights. So like I will tell them who I would like to fight, and they go search for the fights for me.
Okay, what do you think of that K9 Charlo fight? I mean, that's a title bout, and do you have any thoughts on the way that fight might play out?
I do, but I like to keep it to myself. But either way it goes, whichever one wins, I would like to fight the winner of the fight. If I can't fight the winner, I'd like to fight the loser of the fight. It don't matter. I just want to fight.
And you told me that you could get down to welterweight if possible, but you're incredibly big, dude. Is that true?
Nah. I was talking stuff. The lowest I could probably get is to like 52, 53, and that's without struggling. I won't even try to make welterweight. I think it'd be too much strain on my body.
And do you think that it's unfair? Some people in the past have criticized you for not using your reach, but when I've watched you fight, it seems like you do use your range, but people might they might not necessarily see what's occurring in the fight. You might be applying pressure and fighting in spurts in certain things, and they highlight that as the sum of the whole fight?
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I don't fight like the typical big man. Like, to compare myself to like Klitschko in my division, like I'm just big and physically tall, and everybody just want me just to sit on the outside, dance around, pick and pop. But if I sit on the outside, pick and pop, then I'd be criticized for being a boring fighter. So even with the media and the fans, everybody, they don't know what they want. If I give them an exciting fight, they happy for that. If I give them a boring fight, they score me for that. If I use my reach and I sit on the outside, they probably say I was boring. If I get inside, mix it up, oh, he get hit too much, he worked too much, he don't use his height. So it's always going to be criticism with me. I think it's going to always be criticism with me because it's hard to use your height and your reach and box someone and have an exciting fight. So I just think it's some type of criticism with me.
So the number one thing for you is to make sure the fans get what they pay for, to give people exciting fights.
No, not actually. It just so happens that's just a part of my fighting style. Like I like getting there, mixing it up. Before I'm a boxer, I'm a fighter. I always been a fighter. I always like to get in there, mix it up. It's just getting the boxing aspect of it, going back to how I was in the amateur before I turned pro, the boxing, the moving, throwing big shots here and there. It's just getting back to that is what we're mainly focusing on, moving my head more, and being more effective defensively.
Last question. Favorite R&B song from the 90s? Or album? Let's do album.
Oh, man, I can't say. It's so many of them. The 90s era, that was a good era for R&B. The early 90s and the late 80s was a good era for R&B. So it's so many of them. Pick two?
Yeah, just two you enjoy. Not necessarily favorite, two you enjoy.
Two albums I enjoy. Like that I can listen to? Like all the time?
Yeah, like we could put it on in the gym right now.
And I bust out singing?
And you bust out singing.
All right, I gotta say, it's one of the Drew Hill albums. I want to say Enter the Drew. I want to say Enter the Drew with Sleeping in My Bed. And I gotta say, I could go with Jagged Edge, but I'm not sure. I won't say Jagged Edge is one of the albums. I'm not sure exactly which album, but Jagged Edge.
Any sponsors you want to shout out, and how can people find you on social media?
Well, you know, I want to shout out Rival. I want to shout out Strive Apparel. I want to shout out F4 Studios. And of course, I want to shout out my managers, Cameron Duncan, Al Gore. I mean, Frank Gore. I said Al Gore, Frank Gore. Frank Gore. I don't know, man. Oh yeah, Snack. I forgot about Snack. I can't forget about Snack. I don't want Victor cussing me out. Also, you can find me on Twitter, Trey_Fab_5. I'm gonna change it pretty soon once I get back on there. And y'all can find me on Instagram, Nelson_the_Great, and on Facebook, Willie Trey Nelson.
One last question I gotta ask you: what's it like being signed to a professional athlete, Frank Gore, as well, to work with a professional athlete like that?
I don't know. It's business. It's what it is. It's business. Like, who I'm signed to don't excite me. I don't get excited about it. It's just a part of business we got into, and he just so happened to be a person who chose to help manage me. And, you know, everything cool. You got your perks being signed with a professional athlete, a well-known professional athlete. You got your perks with it. But, you know, it's just regular. It's just like another day on the job. Just another day on the job.